Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Avantika and Bharat, for the fantastic bhajan that you did, kirtan and bhajan that you did for us. Thank you so much, and please come again. And you're welcome to stay on. Yeah, and read the Bhagavad Gita with us if you like. So I see that quite a few of you joined here while we were broadcasting. So Suyash and Manasi are there, and Khyati and Neeral are in some sort of a car. We have representation.
Yes, Mataji, sorry, we are, Kathy is driving. I'm listening, and we are
very good. Very
driving
good.
from Fremont to Millbrae.
Wow, good. Did you go to deliver? Did you go to deliver the Bhagavatam? Ah, okay.
Yes, Mataji, we're just leaving.
Okay. Okay, good. Drive safely. Khyati.
Sure,
Varthana Mataji, Sonal Mataji, Chitra Mataji, Astha and Nishtha Mataji, Preeti Radhika Mataji, all on the Zoom here with us, and watching us on the Facebook are Vijay Lakshmi Nair Mataji, Varsha, your friend. And then we have Sakhi Ranga-devi Dasi, Meena Satija Mataji, Sophie Mataji is there, Shubhavilas Govindas Prabhu is there, Namazya. Namazya Mataji Jai. Please accept my humble obeisances, all of you on Facebook, as well as those who are here on the Zoom with us. So how are you feeling today on a scale of 1 to 10?
Good, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling?
After the class, I'll be 10.
You are a 10? All right. So you're a 10.
After the class, I will be surely 10.
After the class, you'll be 10. Okay. So we are aiming for a 10. Let's see. Tanakriya Prabhu also joined us here on the Facebook. Welcome, Tanakriya Prabhu. It's so good to have you, dear God brother, on the call. Okay. So are we ready? And what did we do the first thing in our Bhakti Vish classes? Can somebody remind? Remember?
We do
the Vigyapti Panchika prayers. All right. So let's bring up the Vigyapti Panchika prayers if I have them handy. I don't have them. Okay. I'll open it up from the folder. All right. So how was the Saturday morning for all of you?
It was really good. Maharaj's talk on Bhakti Charu Maharaj's Disappearance Day was like, and especially the question answer session was just simply out of this world.
Isn't it? Amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect questions and perfect answers. That's
exactly.
Yeah, if you missed watching it, you can watch it on Vaisheshika Prabhu's Facebook page, fanthespark.com. You can also watch it now, an edited version, with just focusing on the lecture and the question and answers on his YouTube page for Vrksa Das. You could search there as well as all the ISKCON Silicon Valley channels. Also, it's available there. Fantastic. Okay. So I found the prayers, and somebody is working hard here, which means that we do have the reading order of some sort up here. So we'll wait till the Sanskrit is over, and then we will have Suyash Prabhu announce the reading order. Thank you so much, Suyash Prabhu, for doing that for us. And I am sharing, no, I'm sharing the wrong desktop. Desktop 2 needs to be shared. Stop the share again.
Mataji, Neeral here will probably not be able to read today. I'll just listen.
Okay, Suyash Prabhu, yeah, maybe you don't know. Neeral and Khyati are driving.
Yes, Khyati is driving, but I will not be able to read. Just listen.
Okay, good. All right, can you see the Vigyapti Panchika prayers? Can somebody say yes?
Yes,
no?
yes.
All right, okay. All right, Dilip Bhai Patel Prabhu, thank you for joining the call here. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma na paradhi cha kaschana parihare pilajami kim bhuve purushottama yuvati nam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvato yatha manobhiramte tadvan mano me ramatam tvai bhumau skhalita padanam bhumirevaavalambanam tvai jata paradhanam tvameva sharanam prabhu govinda vallabhe radhe प्रार्थये त्वामहं सदा तदीयं इति जानातु गोविन्दो मां त्वया सह राधे वृन्दावनाधीशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया निजपादाब्जा दास्यं मह्यं प्रदीयताम्. All right, and what's the reading order?
I will go first. O Purushottama. Hare Krishna. Ma.
Go ahead.
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Oh Srimati, this one.
Yes.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you only, 1 minute. You alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you. Hare Krishna.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavana, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Okay, good. Then we'll start the reflections. And Suyash Prabhu, you have some duplicates in the reading list. Just check that here. And so we'll have the reflection. This is the best time. What do you say?
Give me shelter in your lotus feet alone.
All right. And what will happen if you get shelter of your lotus feet?
I will be immersed in the ecstasy of his love.
Actually, I was also thinking of shelter only, Varshana Mataji, and I was thinking that with shelter, you feel protected, and it's almost like you can sail through almost anything if you feel that you have a right shelter.
So if your parents are good, is it good to take shelter of the parents?
Yeah, when you are little, like they look out for you. They are good parents. They will definitely guide you to the right way and tell you about Krishna.
And when you're not little, if your parent is really good, is it good to take shelter?
No, if they're not good, no.
No, if they are good.
Oh, if they're good, yeah.
They are good.
Yeah.
So the question is whether you're little or big, should we be taking shelter or not when we grow old, or should we be independent?
I think no matter whether you're little or big, we all need shelter. That's why we need mentors, teachers, and we always need shelter. Even our mentors and teachers need shelter. They have guru. The gurus have guru. So we all need shelter at any time.
And what did Vaisheshika Prabhu say in the morning about that? That gurus have gurus. Where are they all going? Where are they running?
Oh, they're all running to Krishna.
They all run. Yeah. So you are running after your guru, who's running after his guru, running after his guru, and ultimately they're all running towards Krishna. So we need shelter. So one of the things that we have to keep in mind is that the concept of a shelter for Krishna should always be there, right? And it requires a lot of practice on our part to be able to get into a mindset like that, where I really am okay taking shelter. Otherwise, we are more along the lines of, okay, I am something. I am a self-made man, right? The self-made man doesn't require anybody. They do it on their own, or at least that's what they think, right? So slowly, when these kinds of the wrong notions that we have in our mind get washed away, so the Atma or the soul is kind of, not very clean. Meli Atma bolte na? Meli, it's dirty. And the dirt is from lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, all those kind of things form layers, desires. They form layers and layers of dust on the soul. And so the soul has to be cleansed with Krishna Katha, right? And there's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which says, Dhautatma Purusha Krishna. Dhautatma Purusha Krishna. Padamulam namunchati mukta sarva pariklesha panthasa sharanam yatha. So what it means is that dhat atma, dhat, the word dhat. So the Hindi word dhuna, of washing, comes from the Sanskrit dhat. That is, you have cleansed it. So you have taken the soul, thrown it into the washing machine, put some little bleaching there, twirled it a little bit on the fast cycle. So, so the idea is that the soul has to be cleansed. And how does the soul get cleansed? Of course, we don't use the washing machine.
By chanting.
By chanting and
Hearing.
hearing, right? Yeah, hearing and chanting, right? So that process, listening to Krishna Katha, will purify your soul. So once the soul is purified, Dhautatma Purusha Krishna, right? Padamulam namunchati. Padamulam, right? Will not want to give up the lotus feet of the Lord. This is important, right? So in the beginning, we are all full of false ego. We don't want to, move from here to there. We think that we are doing everything we are doing is by our own self. And then if somebody says surrender to Krishna, you don't want to surrender to Krishna. We don't even want to touch his feet because it's supposed to be low, right? I'm not talking about you're all devotees, but I'm talking about the general percentage of population who is walking on this planet Earth right now, right? So they are not cleansed. The Atmas are not cleansed of all the anarthas that are there. So, but once the Purusha, Dhautatma, Purusha means the soul. So once it is cleansed, then what it does is Padamulam. Padamulam basically means that it does not let go of the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And here also in our prayer, you're saying Tameva Sharanam Prabhu, right? So that is what we should be aiming for. And so what happens? What happens when you take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord? This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam is further elaborating on that. And it's telling you, Padamulam na munchati. Munchati means it will not give it up. Why does it not want to give it up? Because when it reaches the lotus feet of the Lord, it is liberated. And what it is liberated from? It is liberated from Mukta Sarva Pariklesha. Pariklesha means all the miseries of the life that you have. That is Pariklesha. The Mukta Sarva Pariklesha. And what is the feeling that it gets? Now, if you get relieved of all the miseries that you have in life, now, of course, it's difficult for you to visualize what it is because at any point in time, we are suffering from some misery or the other in our life, right? So then the example the verse gives the example that Pantha Swa Sharanam Yatha. It says, just like how a weary traveler, right? When he comes back to his own abode, Swa Sharanam, his own abode, not the abode of the Lord, but to his own abode, which means that you are traveling outside and you know how difficult it is to travel, right? You have to first pack everything, you have to shut down the machinery, you have to arrange for somebody to water your plants, and then you go and you stand in the line after you beat the traffic rush, and then of course the plane is delayed and there's a huge queue, and then the stuff is not fitting into the overhead cabin, and there's bumpy air and all kinds of things, and you don't get the right food, the pillow is not the right size when you are in the hotel, and so on and so forth. So our journey through this material world is like that, right? It's very bumpy. And so just as a traveler feels very much rested and relieved from all the miseries that he gets from traveling, when he comes back to his own home, no matter how simple the home is, but he feels very much relieved. Similarly, when a person takes the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, then that person also feels the same way. So like I've been mentioning every morning, that these prayers are not simple prayers. It is not just a nice rhyming Sanskrit poetry that you have. These have a very deeper meaning. And they tell you that, the results of following these prayers, the results of sincerely praying whatever is mentioned there, is bound to give you fantastic results there. So two of you did catch on to the right thing, which is shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Like that. Yeah. So that's good. More on that from you?
Let my mind take pleasure only in you. So I like
Hare Krishna, Chitra. And so let's talk a little bit about that what's going to happen if you don't do that.
Mind will get digressed, diversion in unnecessary and unwanted things.
Unwanted things like what?
Anything other than, taking pleasure in Krishna, kind of like browsing. Or
You are an IT. Are you from the IT line, right?
Yeah.
Browsing. Okay, let's see what happens when you are browsing. Chitra Mataji, why is browsing bad?
You get the opportunity to see all unwanted things and unnecessary things, kind of.
And how come you get to see the unnecessary things?
Because mind is not focused.
Okay, but what deviates your mind when you're browsing? Is there something on the browser that deviates the mind?
Yeah, desire.
Okay, but how does the browser know about your desire?
It has history.
It has your history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has the history of your browsing. So when you're browsing on the internet, right, and you go there with all innocence, that I'm going to find out, has somebody written this code, or can I find the algorithm to solve this particular problem? And while you're, browsing through that, on the side, certain things start popping up, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, hi, the pressure cooker you were looking at is now available at, $30 at Amazon.com. How do they figure that out? Right? The browsers are very smart. They are finding all that. They are noticing what you're doing. Somewhere all these things are being recorded and then presented in front of you at the right moment. This is our material life. As we are browsing in this material world, so to speak, somebody has made a record of our desires. They are there within you, in your subtle body. They are there. And at the appropriate moment, it will be presented towards you and will distract you from there. Yeah. Yeah. So we will face that all the time. And so this war also goes all the time because the senses are active 24/7. Because in the night, when you think you've gone to sleep, your sixth sense, the mind is still working. Right? Yeah. Intelligence can go to sleep, but mind doesn't go to sleep like that. So, yes, a good point. Yeah, good decision. What else? Anybody else has got anything to share? Anybody watching us on Facebook would like to share? Just put, your thought processes over here. All right, so should we go then to the next topic, which is what chapter are we reading? Bhagavad Gita?
I can share, Mataji. I just want to know which chapter.
Aha, you are in some other place or somebody has come to visit you?
Yeah, Keshav. Keshav has come to visit us. We are blessed.
All right, Keshav.
Hey, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Keshav. So happy to have you. We talk about Keshav all the time. Okay. So Keshav, while are we sharing right now? And who goes
Mataji,
next?
can you enable sharing?
Ah, bad. So who is going to read next as soon as the sharing is enabled?
It's my turn, Mataji.
I don't know why today there are so many windows open on my screen, more than I would want them to open, not allowing me to give privileges to Suyash Prabhu. Given.
Yes.
Are we? Is it just me who's not seeing it? Okay, now I see it. Okay, I see a lot of code. I see your terminal. I see your Zoom, and now I'm going to see. We are doing 10 now, right? Are we doing 10? No?
Yeah, we are doing 10 last week.
We are doing.
Okay.
You start reading, Mataji?
Yes. As soon as you can see it, please go two verses each.
Okay, Mataji. Chapter 10, The Opulence of the Absolute. Text 1. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna. Because you are my dear friend, for your benefit I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained." Text 2. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, text 3. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only undiluted among men, is freed from all sins. Text 4 and 5. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. Hare Krishna.
Text 6. The seven great sages, and before them the four great sages and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them. Text 7. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Text number 8. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Text 9. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
To text 10, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Text 12 and 13. Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Sita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and you yourself are declaring it to me. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality." Hare Krishna.
Text 15. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. Text 16. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds.
Text 17. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? Text 18. O Janardana, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words.
Text 19. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Text 20. I am the Supersoul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, text 21. Of Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon. Text 22. Of the Vedas, I am the Samved. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the kings of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in the living beings, I am the living force consciousness. Hare Krishna.
This is my chance. I'm on the call.
So we met before, right?
Yeah, I will talk to you 5 minutes later.
Sure.
Go ahead, Garima. Text 23, Garima.
Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am Fire, Agni. And of the mountains, I am Meru. Text 24. Of priest, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Braspati. Of generals, I am Kartike. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean.
Okay, thank you. After Garima, I go, right? Of all the trees, I am the banyan tree, and of the sages among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitrartha, and among perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila.
Mataji, one verse is missed.
Did I miss something?
25th.
Okay. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. And of the immovable things, I am the Himalayas.
Of all trees, I am the banyan tree. Oh, you read that, so 27. Of horses, know me to be Uchishirava, produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavata, and among men, I am the monarch. Text 28. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love, and of serpents, I am Vasuki.
Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta, and among the critics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death. Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subduers, I am Time. Among beasts, I am Lion, and among birds, I am Garuda. Hare Krishna.
Text 31. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. Text 32. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the
You
end,
do
and
this
also
every day?
humanity.
Yes.
O Arjuna,
How?
of all sciences, I am the science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth.
Text 33. Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma. Text 34. I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine, speech, memory, intelligence, and steadfastness and patience.
Text 35. Of the hymns in the Samaveda, I am the Brihat Sama, and of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Margashrisha, November, December, and of seasons, I am flower bearing spring. Text 36. I am also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, text 37. Of the descendants of Vrashni, I am Vasudeva. And of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyas. And among great thinkers, I am Ushna. Text 38. Among all means of among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment. And of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence. And of the wise, I am the wisdom. Hare Krishna.
Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being, moving or non moving, that can exist without me. Text 40. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestation. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences.
Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Text 42. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Hari Bol. Okay, so Suyash, can you stop sharing for a quick minute? And I wanted to ask Garima Mataji that do we have a guest today?
No, Mataji, actually, I was standing in front of their house because there was shade. So he started asking me, "What do you need?" I said, "No, I am on the conference call." So he said, "Oh, you are working on weekend?" I said, "No, no, this is Bhagavad Gita call. So you should also join." So he said, "Wow, you are doing Bhagavad Gita call." So I said, "Yeah, see, we are talking about Krishna's opulences, and see this line, that line," and then he said, "Oh, I am not interested. My wife would be interested." I said, "Okay."
Yeah, you give a Bhagavad Gita to the wife.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah, they are your neighbors, right? They'll be a good person
Yeah.
to approach. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, over the phone.
Yeah. So morning only when you told us morning or yesterday. No, yesterday. I was thinking, oh, I cannot go and ask my neighbors if they will
Yeah,
say no, and then I will feel so bad. And they are neighbors. I have to see them and whom to ask. I don't have much friends also.
yeah. Krishna arranges. Yeah, Krishna already has a name put on the book, right? You are just the carrier. Okay, good. Yeah. All right. So it's reflection time. Let's spend a few minutes reflecting on what are things that you heard, anything that struck your mind, any doubts that you have. And of course, those of you who are watching us here on Facebook, which now includes Suraksha Sudevi Mataji, come on, jump and come on the Zoom. What are you doing on Facebook? And Anchu is also there, and so is Devyangi Devi Dasi watching us from New York. All right, thank you so much for joining. Please share your thoughts about chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita, which you just read.
In the last verse, Krishna says, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. That's so profound.
Right. It is. It is, yes. And so sometimes to be attracted towards Krishna, it is important for us to know about his opulence. And that is why this chapter is there. So remember, Krishna is speaking this not for the not for the benefit of Arjuna, because Arjuna is already a devotee of the Lord. He's speaking it for the benefit of us. And us can mean, different types of people, right? So some will just take to Krishna consciousness like that. I mean, it comes naturally to them, right? Some get it from the environment, but some are questioning, you know, and but they will worship anybody who has got a lot of opulence. So that is why this chapter is telling about the opulences of Krishna. And then, how impressive it is, as you have pointed out, Suyash Prabhu, that if somebody can pervade this entire world and support, right, this entire world or this universe with just a fragment, little spark of his. So you can imagine how much more he's capable of doing. I mean, for us, a sweet little life or small, teeny, mini life that we have, it becomes so difficult for us to manage it. We have not even 100 years to live. That itself becomes so difficult. College is only 5 years. That is so difficult. Grihastha ashram, 20, 25 years. That becomes so difficult. Retirement, even more difficult. Right? Try to do one small thing, it becomes like we start complaining. And Krishna is doing it non-stop, eternally, for the ungrateful also. Right? If somebody is ungrateful to us, if our friend is ungrateful to us, we don't bother, right? We don't help them. I mean, after some time we stop, like, no, I don't even get a thank you out of them, so let me just stay away from them. So we steer clear. But Krishna, how many times do we remember to say thank you to Krishna? Like that. But see, look at this, how much he does, how much he's capable of doing.
Another profound verse, Shraddha Mataji, is also the one that says, I am the generating seed of all existences, I think. It says that there is no being moving or unmoving that can exist without me. So it's important to realize that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Once in a while, it's a very good practice, and I think maybe we can do this practice now, all of us together. And that is, we will close our eyes, we will take and sit down in a safe place, and then take a deep breath in. Except for in my case, I won't take a deep breath in because I've opened the door and somebody's cooking onion and garlic. So take a deep breath in and inhale, and then you exhale. Close your eyes, inhale deeply, hold it, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, wherever you are seated, whether it is San Jose or Cupertino or Santa Clara or Pune, whichever city that you are in, Sacramento, Gulf, San Francisco, Millbrae, 101 Freeway, wherever you are, just expand it a little bit to include the surroundings. If you are in a city, then think about the adjacent cities around you. And then think about the state that you are in. Now compare yourself to the state. Then expand your consciousness to include the country. Imagine that you are situated in as a speck in America or India, or whoever is on Facebook from whichever country you are. So, and then expand it to planet Earth, and then visualize that this planet Earth is moving, is rotating, and also moving at a very fast speed. And you imagine yourself to be in this planet. This is exercise you should do every day. You are in a planet. Why are you here? What brought you here? Was it in your hands, or you were forced to come here? You don't like it here? Do you have a choice? Moving to another planet, especially these days, nowhere on earth is safe. The sun sets every evening and rises every morning. So there must be something at work. While we are sleeping, somebody is working. Somebody is managing the movement of the sun, the movement of the stars, the change of the seasons, the changes in our bodies. We like it or not, but they happen. Try to understand our position here. We are inside a planet that is spinning very fast and going, we don't know where. Take a deep breath and bring the picture of your favorite deity in your mind. Offer your obeisances to the deity. Slowly start looking at the deity from the feet all the way up, traversing the calves, the thighs, the waist, the chest, the arms, the neck, the face, the forehead, and the crown. Focus on the lotus feet. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Cover your face with your hands. Cover your eyes with your hands. Don't remove your hands, but slowly open your eyes. Now slowly move your hands away and come back to the Zoom call. Okay, now take 3 deep breaths. And now share your experience.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Vachana.
Mataji, I really felt very peaceful, very peaceful. The whole planet was spinning. I was in the center, and suddenly I felt it has calmed down, and I am very close to the ocean, sitting there, and I'm just meditating there and enjoying all the sound of the waves which are coming and going. And when you said meditate on the deity which you worship, it did not come directly, but I could see the lotus feet. That's all. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Lotus feet is all you need, Varshana. If the lotus feet came, that's a big thing. For some, even the feet don't come, right? Yeah. We were talking about surrendering to the lotus feet. Pad moolam namunchati, right? So you got the pad mula, right? Okay. Anybody else would like to share their experience?
With guided meditation, it was easier to stay focused. Like my mind did not wander at all. Like I was like, as you walked us, I was able to walk through. So guided meditation is surely so powerful. And just imagining the deity, just like going from lotus feet all the way up to Madan Mohan's lotus eyes was just so nice because we haven't had his darshan in such a long time.
Mm. Wow. Anybody else did this exercise? Yeah.
Feeling very light, Mataji. Like
You?
something is, some weight has been gone. The whole body is feeling very light, relaxed.
Good. So what were your feelings about you being in this planet Earth, which is spinning?
Your problem started to feel so much smaller compared to like, okay, I'm going to be here maybe if I have good luck another 40 more years, out of which 20 is going to be like more health issues. So problems seemed smaller thinking of that.
So when you looked at the magnanimity and the enormity of the universe, you thought that I'm just a speck,
Yeah, infinitesimal speck.
infinitesimal speck. So you saw the smallness of this, right? And then did you meditate on the earth moving very fast and going nowhere? You being hurled in a sort of a ship,
Yeah.
waters, right? And then what happened when you looked at the deity?
I think the DT I saw first in my eyes was Lord Narasimhadev. So just spontaneously just came. Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Mm.
And how was you feeling after that?
As if I'm in the temple worshipping him, kind of. Yeah.
Very good. Suyash and Mansi, could you meditate? Did Keshav allow you to meditate?
No, Mataji, apparently not.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Halfway, I was out.
What happened halfway?
Halfway, I was in California, and then I moved to US, and then okay, Keshav came.
Well, Krishna came. Okay, yeah. Chitra Mataji.
When you said deity, I was imagining the deity which I have in my house, the little Krishna. I have the deity. I was thinking about that. Yeah.
And before that, when you were in this entire universe, how was it?
I was feeling like very small, like compared to a big universe kind of feeling I had.
Good. Nishtha Mataji, are you with us?
Yeah, Madhuri. When you said no that you are on planet Earth and what you are doing here, so I couldn't answer myself what I'm doing here. Or am I being pushed to come here and why I'm here? Like these questions is something I cannot answer why I'm doing here, what I'm doing here, and why I'm here like that.
Right. Very good point. Very good observation. Because did you feel the helplessness out of it? I mean, like, as if you didn't have a say in it. Suddenly,
Yeah,
we come to this planet. Suddenly, I'm in this planet. Suddenly, I'm in this family. Suddenly, I'm born here. Right? Completely out of my control. It's not in my hand. Right? That's what the feeling is. I mean, of course, the destination is partly in our hands because it depends on what we did. But then when it comes to being meted out, the results of our actions, it's not in our hands. It'll happen to us no matter what we like. So you can see that, all of us who are on this planet Earth alive at this point in time and undergoing whatever tribulations that we are all facing at this point in time in life, you know, um, this is an arrangement. This is an arrangement. And then you also saw that as you expanded your consciousness and included the entire universe, you saw how tiny you were. Right? And we're reading about the opulence of the absolute, about the opulence of Krishna. So we know that there's somebody who's controlling it, of intelligence much better than mine, much, much more bigger than mine, and somebody who's a far better controller and more strong and a powerful controller than I am, is controlling this whole world and controlling me, who's just a tiny speck, right? But yet, but yet, if I call that person in my mind, he comes, right? When you started to meditate on your deity, he came. Maybe for some of you, maybe you just saw the feet. Maybe for some of you, he came in the form of Keshav there, right? But he will come. So this is the magnanimity of Krishna, that no matter how tiny you are, right, that he is listening to you, he is tuned to you, he knows what's going on, and he is there to help you, right? Sometimes what happens is that we um, sometimes we get so overwhelmed with work, right? That I've got this thing, I've got 10 issues at work to handle. Then what do? We just prioritize, right? And we are taught to do that. We're taught to prioritize, and we say, okay, just take the top three, or take the top three that are going to affect the customer, then address those first. If they are addressing somebody else, or a bigger customer versus smaller customer, we make all those kind of prioritizations, right? And in customer success, that's what it is, right? For a company to be successful, the customers have to be happy. Which customers have to be happy? The ones who bring you the big moolah, like that, right? So we do all those kinds of prioritization when we are short of time, and or not don't have enough resources and things like that. But look at Krishna, right? His opulence is like that. He's infinite, so there is no dearth of resources as far as Krishna is concerned. But then there is also no dearth of mercy on his part, that he will address to each and every one of us, like that, right? When in the olden days, when the families were bigger in size, um, I know that in my family that there's a lady who had 17 kids. She had 17 children. And so for the later kids that came later, like after the fourth or fifth kid or sixth or seventh kid, she says, I don't even remember. They somehow grew up by themselves. They just, somebody took care and things like that. So even a mother, can get overwhelmed and not be able to take care of all the kids. But Krishna is the supreme mother, and he takes care and is willing to take care. And all that you have to do is to turn your face towards him once and just surrender to him once. Sakradeva prapanno, yes, right? Tavasniti chaba yachate, and says that I am yours. Just turn to Krishna just once and say, I'm yours. And then he will give you the courage to handle everything which is there here, like that, right? Because he's everything. All the opulences he already listed. There's Krishna everywhere. Everywhere there is Krishna. You can't avoid him.
yeah, Mataji.
Yeah, so yeah, thanks Nishtha for bringing that point up. Anybody else would like to share? I don't know. Kathy is on the car, so obviously they were not participating in that. I think I covered everybody here, right? Okay, and Divyangi Devi Dasi says that she felt very small and tiny, and that Krishna knows what's going on in my life and that he's in charge. Yes, very good. And I also saw Madan Mohana, he's always smiling. Okay, so Madan Mohana is trending this Saturday afternoon. And yeah, and Divyangi says that it helped him calm down and trust Krishna more. Yeah, the trust thing is very, very important. And Divyanga Prabhu is here watching us. Dandat Pranam, Prabhu. I'm so happy and so honored and so fortunate that you're here on this call. And it's about ISKCON Sacramento. I don't know who that is, but please Dandat Pranams to you, and Anshu Dhawan Prabhu is also there. Okay, so do you think we are ready now to go to our regular reading?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so Khyati Mataji had posted the document last time. She's traveling now. So maybe I'll have to post it for all of you, or can you all bring it up? I'll bring up a copy here. Or I don't know whether Shivash has the copy from. Shivash, you were not there last week, right? I can share it, no problem.
I was in Mataji, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I'll share it here. Okay, so here we go. Sharing desktop number 2. Who's going to read now? I think we start again because I've read. Right?
Yes, so it's my turn.
Okay, so please. Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
All right.
Why are we here? The beginning of spiritual life is to understand that we are not this material body, but the spirit soul. However, simply realizing our nature as different from the body is not enough. We can experience true satisfaction and happiness only by realizing our true identity in relation with the Supreme Soul, Krishna, and by acting on that platform.
Next in line, please.
I
The
believe
Vedas
Nishtha Mata.
explain that us. Okay,
What is the origin?
Sorry. Yeah, what is the origin of the soul? Why are we bound in this prison house of the material world by the three modes of material nature? Where do we go when we become free from the bondage of three modes? Hare Krishna.
The Vedas explain that the soul is constitutionally resident of the eternal realm, the spiritual world. It is explained in the Upanishads that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is one amongst many souls who are all subordinate to him. Being a part and parcel of the supremely independent Krishna, every soul is endowed with minute independence, either to choose to love and serve God or to be independent of God and struggle for so-called illusory enjoyment in this material world. The souls in this material world have chosen the second option.
Under the influence of the illusionary energy, every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has two physic division. Psychic division. One is that I am the creator and other is that I am the enjoyer. But actually the Supreme Spirit is both the creator and the enjoyer, and the living entity being the part and parcel of Supreme Spirit is neither the creator nor the enjoyer, but a cooperator. He is created and enjoys being enjoyed by the Supreme Enjoyer.
For instance, a part of a machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates with the whole body. The hands, legs, eyes, and so on are all parts of the body, but they are not actually the enjoyers. The stomach is the enjoyer. The legs move, the hands supply food, the teeth chew, and all parts of the body are engaged in satisfying the stomach, because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. Therefore, everything is given to the stomach.
One nourishes the tree by watering its root, and one nourishes the body by feeding the stomach. For if the body is to be kept in a healthy state, then the parts of the body must cooperate to feed the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Soul is the enjoyer and the creator, and we as subordinate living beings are meant to cooperate to satisfy him. This cooperation will actually help us, just as food taken by the stomach will help all other parts of the body. If the fingers of the hand think that they should take the food themselves instead of giving it to the stomach, then they will be frustrated. Hare Krishna.
The central figure of creation and enjoyment is the Supreme Personality of Krishna, and the living entities are cooperators. By cooperation, they enjoy. Just like a child asks his mother, Mother, I want to hold the moon in my hand. Mother tries to explain that it is not possible, but the child keeps insisting and starts crying. So the mother gives a mirror in the child's head and position it in such a way that the reflection of the moon is seen in the mirror. The child is happy in the illusion that he has the moon. However, when he moves the mirror, the moon goes away, and after a few attempts, the child is frustrated and understands the futility of such illusory enjoyment. Similarly, when the living entity wants to enjoy independent of God in the spiritual world, he is given the material world to fulfill his desire, to enjoy separate from the God, and is subjected to the illusion that he is enjoying. Hare Krishna.
After several lifetimes of trying to enjoy, when a living entity comes to understand the futility of trying to find enjoyment in this material world, the Lord as a
Arjun!
oops, hold on. Garima, mute yourself. I lost track here. Okay, after several lifetimes of trying to enjoy, when a living entity comes to understand the futility of trying to find enjoyment in this material world, the Lord, as the Paramatma in the heart, directs the living entity to the association of his devotees, where one can learn the purpose of life and perfect one's life. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, also comes to this material world to display his super excellent pastimes, to attract the living entity back to the spiritual world, the real home. He also sends his representatives in the form of the great devotees to reclaim the fallen, unconditioned souls. Back to Preeti.
Yeah, avyaktoshara iti yuktas tamahu paramam gatim yam prapya na nivartant tadhama paramam mama. That supreme abode is called unmanifested and infallible, and it is the supreme destination. When one goes there, he never comes back. That is my supreme abode. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text 21.
Yeah, and I think there's a little typo here. Yam prapyana nivartante. There should be an E also.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Nivardante.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
The, the soul being The soul, being part and parcel of the Supreme Godhead Krishna, can be happy only when he is serving Krishna with love and devotion, and not otherwise. The living being who desires to enjoy independent of God will never get satisfaction. Exactly like a fish out of water can never be satisfied with any amount of comforts. Only when the fish is put back into its original position in the water will it become completely happy. Hare Krishna.
Similarly, the spirit soul can be happy only in the spiritual world, which is the original home of the living being. The material realm of activities can never satisfy the pure soul, who is in the search of real bliss.
We are all like the lost son of a millionaire, having lost touch with our eternal Father. Krishna, we are wandering in this material world, unaware of our true glory. We have to now revive our eternal relationship with the Father to become a truly happy. This relationship can be revived by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, associating with people who are trying to revive the relationship, and by performing practical devotional service. Once we revive our lost relationship with the Supreme Father by performing loving devotional service, we are in a liberated state even while residing in this material body.
Sri Rupa Goswami, in his Nectar of Devotion, describes this as follows: a person acting in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, in the service of Krishna, with his body, mind, intelligence, and words, is a liberated person even within the material world, although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON says, we never had any occasion when we were separated from Krishna. Just like one man is dreaming and forgets himself, in dream he creates himself in different forms. Now I am the king, discussing like that. This creation of himself is as a seer and subject matter of this subject matter or scene. Two things. But as soon as the dream is over, the scene disappears, but the seer remains. Now he is in his original position. Hare Krishna.
Our separation from Krishna is like that. We dream this body and so many relationships with other things. First, the attachment comes to enjoy sense gratification. Even with Krishna, desire for sense gratification is there. There is a dormant attitude for forgetting Krishna and creating an atmosphere for enjoying independently. Just like at the edge of a beach, sometimes the water covers, sometimes there is dry sand coming and going. Our position is like that, sometimes covered, sometimes free, just like at the edge of the tide. As soon as we forget, immediately the illusion is there. Just like as soon as we sleep, dream is there. So the conclusion is that whatever may be our past, let us come to Krishna consciousness and immediately join Krishna. Just like with a diseased man, it is a waste of time to try to find out how he has become diseased. Better to spend time curing the disease. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, Garima, you found Arjuna?
Yes, Mataji.
Good. I have to check. So, I will also like to welcome Divyangi. I don't know when she jumped from Facebook to Zoom, but we always like such migrations. Welcome to the call here. So, it's reflection time. So,
All the analogies were so nice. 5
Hmm.
analogy, I think it is given.
Counted, huh?
Lost, millionaire, father, stomach, fish, and 2 more. So very nicely explained.
The river bank.
The river bank tide, and yeah, we don't have to look for the root cause why the disease is there. We just have to look forward to cure the person. It's a waste of time to figuring out.
To figure that out, right?
Yeah.
Right. So when you were doing the meditation exercise today, when I asked you to figure it out, right? How much could you figure it out? Like, what is it? What brought me here? What did I do? Why did I do? So those kind of things are useless, right? That
Yes.
lead you nowhere. But then you just went and concentrated on your deity, right? And felt down. Yeah.
Can we clap for Garima Mataji? Excellent, Mataji, that you summarized the analogy so beautifully.
Absolutely. Unmute yourself, clap, everybody. I can.
Please, Mataji.
Well, on your Zoom pad, there's a little icon called reactions, and you can always react like that.
There we go.
You can react. Yes. So, well, we got 3 reactions there. Okay. Yeah. More. Anything more? Want to elaborate on that?
It's so weird. Like when we were reading, I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is so great. And now when you're asking, I'm just blanking out.
Yeah, this happens with Krishna Katha a lot. A lot. We find very nice. We actually sit through lectures, and we say it was a fantastic lecture as we walk out. And somebody says, "What was that guy saying?" We don't know. Yeah, it happens. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen here. We'll walk through really quickly to see.
Hare
What?
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Divyangi.
I wanted to actually point out the last point what Gariya Mataji said about it. we try to figure out sometimes, we come from different backgrounds. How did it happen? But actually, we have to feel really fortunate and grateful that we came to Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
And just leave everything aside and just go forward. That was my reflection.
Exactly. Forget the past. Just learn lessons from the past. Don't dwell in the past.
Yes.
Right? Even more
Thank
important,
you.
don't try to go back and fix it because it can be done. Okay. Yeah. So what's the beginning of spiritual life? What does it say?
Realizing that I'm not this body.
Yeah, to start with the realization that you're not this body. So this is the beginning of spiritual life, and so we talk. We are learning about the soul in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 classes that we're doing in the mornings, and we also talk about self-realized soul, right? And Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So when you are doing your devotional service, this thought can come to us like, so when am I going to be self-realized? When am I going to be self-realized? When will it happen? When will that happen to me, right? So while it can happen for a jnani, a bhakta does not bother. The bhakta's sole purpose is to please Krishna. The first thing we have to understand that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and our duty is to please Krishna. Once we understand that, then we can call ourselves bhaktas. So the main purpose and the main aim of a bhakta is to please Krishna. So he doesn't even care that there is a material body around him. He's saying, okay, I got this material body to be able to serve Krishna. So what's wrong with that? Right? In the spiritual world, I am in a spiritual body. In the material world, I have a material body. But I will use them, either spiritual or material, I will use them in the service of the Lord. Right? So when you are in that mood, right, and that kind of a consciousness that you're serving the Lord with your body actually becomes transcendental. Iha yasya harir dase karmana mansa gira niklav apyavastatum jivan mukta sauchate. Right? So one who in this life uses his body, mind, and his words for glorifying the Lord becomes liberated. So yes, there is liberation, right? There is liberation for people who pursue that route, but a bhakta does not even care about that, right? Bilva Mangala Thakur, right? Who knows the story of Bilva Mangala Thakur?
Yeah, he poked his eyes, right?
Okay, he poked his eyes. Before that, what was he doing?
He was very attracted to another woman.
Okay. And who was that woman? What background did
A
she come?
Brahmin's wife.
Before that, was she a Brahmin's
A
wife?
prostitute.
Yeah. Okay. So what was so peculiar about that? I mean, a lot of people do that.
He, on a rainy day, he tried to see her so badly that he wanted to climb the wall, and he thought it was ropes, but it was snakes, and he grabbed onto those snakes to cross and meet her. And then she goes that, oh my God, if you had that much desperation to see Lord, then you would be delivered. And just to meet a prostitute you went through in a rainy day, you crossed the river, over flooding river, and you
How did he
grab the
cross the
snake.
river? How did he cross the river?
That I don't remember.
He found a log, right, floating in the water, and so he jumped
Oh,
on the log, and then when he came across the shore, he realized that it was not a log, but it was a dead body. It's like
oh,
how,
geez, yeah, yeah. Now I remember.
right? And what day was it when he decided to meet? I mean, he was.
His dad died, I believe.
Yes. So you can imagine what kind of a adham, task he's doing. That his father is dead. He, he's the son. He's supposed to mourn for some days, but no. As soon as they set fire to the father, and in horrible weather, he leaves his wife, and then crosses the river the way I said, and then climbs into the home of that prostitute the way you said, using ropes, which were actually snakes, and then gets scolded by her. And then so he decides to leave her and then take to Krishna consciousness and wants to go to Vrindavan. And on the way to Vrindavan, obviously, you have to stay somewhere, eat, and all that. So those days, there was the concept of atiti, right? So he's going and staying in somebody's house, and those people are very much um, hospitable to him. And then this man gets attracted to the host's wife. So you see, path of devotional service is not an easy path. It is bedecked with difficulties that can come along your way. So he um, and then but he realizes that, and he says that the eyes are the culprit. So he borrows a pin from her and then he pokes his eyes so that I never see a woman again in my life. Now I'm not advising that any one of you do that, but that's what Bilwa Mangal Thakur did, right? And then, of course, he wrote a very famous book called Krishna Karnamrita. It's a very famous book. And then where he was saying that you know his sense of perception was completely gone, right? Completely gone bonkers when he was after the prostitute, right? Dead body and log, he didn't know the difference. Snake and rope, he did not know the difference, right? His perception was completely wrong, right? But then later on, when he becomes a devotee and starts writing all this fantastic literature, he said in one of them, in the Krishna Karnamrita itself, he says that if I do devotional service to you, Lord, right, then I can perceive you, and I can perceive you everywhere. Everywhere I can do that, right? And then in the mood of devotional service to the Lord, he says that liberation, as far as liberation is concerned, he says liberation is actually standing at my door with folded hands, waiting to serve me, right? So mukti is there, dharma is there, artha is there, kama, sense gratification, all of them are there standing with her. But I'm not allowing them to get into my room, because all that I want is devotional service of you, the Lord, like that. So look at the mood, and look at a devotee does not care about liberation. Who cares about liberation as long as I'm serving the Lord? Who cares about that I'm in a heavenly planet or I'm in a hellish planet? I'm with the Lord, like that. So that's what it is, a devotee's life. Yeah. More comments from what you read?
I actually like the a portion, I believe it was in the second or third paragraph, that there's two psychic division that we fall into. That is that I'm the creator and I'm the enjoyer. So on that, I was remembering usually Giraj Maharaj often quotes Bhurijan Prabhu, because Bhurijan Prabhu would say often that, we all think that I am the hero or heroine of this movie, and I am the center. Everybody else plays a supporting cast, and they are supposed to serve me or make me better, right? And so I have like a related question to that. Like, we have the knowledge because we hear lectures, we read, but when things are not going right, then we are so burdened by the trauma, mental trauma or whatever, that it's almost like the knowledge evaporates till somebody just shakes you a little, like, oh, remember, this is the thing. And if you, the more trust you have, the better it is that they are able to wake you up, like, remember, this is just a passing or temporary thing. So why, but when we going through that phase of like being hitting the bottom, right, is it because of our previous karmas that are wanting us to suffer? That even with knowledge, even with hearing, even with appreciating, even with reading, it doesn't help you.
Yeah. So there is gained knowledge and then there is realized knowledge. So if we are just reading books and attending classes, then it is bookish knowledge. That we know that there is a body and there is a soul. But then if somebody, you cut yourself and then we bleed. And everybody
That makes
bleeds.
perfect sense.
Right?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
The knowledge is not realized. So Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. He's saying Brahma Bhuta means who has realized it, right? That you are the soul. And then you can also work on it on two perspectives. You can be like the Jnani and the Yogi and sit and meditate, and then you will realize that you are a soul, right? Or second path that you can do is that you have read enough of scriptures to understand that you are the body. You are not the body, you are the soul. And so start acting like a soul. We have to act like the soul and not like the body, right? And when we start acting like the soul, what do you think? What would change in your behavior if you move from thinking that I'm Priti Radhika, this body, to I am the soul?
Little things won't affect me as much.
Some of the things will not affect you. right? You'll also start looking at other people, right? Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Suni Chaiva Swapakicha Pandita. Right? But again, what we are doing here is we are doing sadhana bhakti. We are doing practicing the devotional service. So it's okay to start applying the knowledge that you have received. I have received the knowledge, and oh, okay, you are at least doing that kind of analysis and saying that even if I have this knowledge, why am I behaving like this? People don't even do that. They just go with the flow. They go with the flow. They don't even stop to think that, okay, I should not be doing this or I should be doing something else and things like that. So we can still apply whatever we have learned, we can still apply, even if you do it for a tiny, tiny molecule, right? Tiny, tiny molecule of the time that you do it. Still, it is something gain in favor. And what I mean by that is that throughout the 24 hours of the day, if at one point, only once in the day, you make a decision based on the fact that you are a soul and not the body, you have achieved a big victory. It's a big victory. And remember, all these victories, they get stored. All the victories, they get stored as well. Like how Chitra Mataji was saying earlier, that browsing is bad. And I was asking her why browsing is bad, right? So yeah, I get disturbed. Like, who disturbs you, right? So you were saying that we forget everything at those times. And yes, matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha, 15.15, Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, right? From me comes remembrance and forgetfulness also. So you will get the forgetfulness at that time, so that you go through that karma and resolve and dissolve your karma like that. So not only do you forget what you have learned, the good things, you also remember the bad things, right? So, which means that if I'm undergoing a severe pain in my body, right? I'm undergoing a severe pain in the body. So obviously I'm in a body consciousness, right? I'm not yet a realized soul that I don't feel anything about the body, right? And so now I start applying my knowledge that, okay, this is happening and this is what is called false ego. And I'm going through this because I am under the influence of false ego. I am under the influence of mode of material nature, but I am really separate from this. So now, how should I react to this? Right? So now at that point in time, what did Krishna say? Krishna told Arjuna, Shitoshun Sukha Dukkada, Agam Apaniyo Anityas Tam Titikshasva Bharata. So he said they come and go like seasons. So he said, okay, Krishna said they come and go. So this pain will also go away. It's not going to be forever. It will go away, right? So understand from that. And okay, so while it has not gone away, what should I do? So Krishna said, tolerate. So that's one thing that is coming from fresh memory. But what is or can also come from memories from all the previous lifetimes is that I always react to it and I all start getting angry and why it is happening to me and things like that, right? So slowly with practice, that's why I'm saying that even if you do it once in a day, right? Even if we get upset several times in the day with the pain or whatever distress that we are going through in our lives, but at least once if I do it, then there is something nice that has been etched in your samskara there. So that next time when the pain comes up, there'll be more choices for the intelligence to choose from and how you're going to react to that situation. And that's why you said that unless somebody comes and tells you that it's going to go away, that is why now you see the importance of devotee association. If you don't have devotee association, remember the last example that they were giving, that we are like the bank of the river. We can be on the land and we can go into the water. We just don't know where it is. We are marginal. Either sometimes you can swing and fall into Maya, and sometimes you can swing and behave like spiritual, right? And liberated soul is that doesn't fall into Maya, has gone and completely crossed over to the other side. And it's a practice, and with practice, it will require every practice will require you to suffer as you're practicing, but you'll only get stronger and stronger, right? You remember when you were learning how to type, how difficult it was. Did not know where A was. I could not understand why the typewriter was not A B C D E F G like that, right? And then now it has become memory. The memory is there here in the hands. It doesn't even have to go anyplace else to get it. It's muscle memory that you've achieved here, like that. So it will it will come. It's just a practice. It's sadhana bhakti. It'll, and then as you, the good thing about the sadhana bhakti is that if you're performing that in the association of devotees, and that's what the Chatushloki Bhagavatam in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that we did today said, right? Matchitta matgata prana. So for the 1 hour you are going to be here, 1.5 hours you're going to be here, you will forget the pain that you're going through right now, right? And then after that the pain will come again, and like, you're alone. So the more you surround yourself with devotees, the more, and then if they are not there in physically in present with you, your Guru Maharaj Vani is there. You can always listen to it, or note down uh, note down things that your spiritual master said with respect to the current situation, right? Whatever, like for example, I'm looking for a job. So what did he tell you about job? Have it written down, stored in some place, and then bring them out. And we have technology that allows you to retrieve them very quickly, and then those will be like a soothing balm on you. And that's, words from the spiritual master are always transcendental in nature, so they will affect you like that. So so it takes time. And then one more thing that also once I heard there was a speaker who came out almost 20 years ago. He came to a close by temple here, and he was totally in the mood of our Gaudiya Vaishnava, Madhurya Bhav. And so he was, he was singing all kinds of love songs to the Lord. And then, but when he would stop and he would give us the tattva, it was pretty deep. And then he was saying that, once you start pursuing the devotional service, and he was so nonchalant about it. He just said that, when you pursue devotional service, your body will come in between. Your body will come in between, but just ignore and move on. It was as if like, oh, this body is nothing. I mean, obviously he was at that stage that he could speak that. But we are babies, we are taking baby steps. But one day we will succeed. That's the hope. Sardharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayasi masuchaha. And so don't think that we have not surrendered. Sardharman parityajya, we have done it. We have molded our lives accordingly. We have given up the comfort of sleeping late into the bed, right? Tempur-Pedic mattresses with your sleep numbers and so on and so forth. We get up in the morning, we sit down and we chant. We follow the 4 regulative principles. I'm not going to take alcohol. I'm not going to eat meat. I'm not going to gamble. I'm not going to have illicit sex. These are big things. These are big things that we have done. So don't underestimate yourself. This Saturday, weekends, I mean, of course, nowadays everybody's confined with Corona. That's a different story. But even in the non-Corona days, we were spending our weekends in devotional service. We were not going out and having, fun parties and things like that, right? Where we're given a choice. And if at all we had to go there, we were miserable inside, right? So we are doing, you all are doing. And as Vaishnav Prabhu says, that you vote by your feet. You vote by your feet is that, you are showing up. You are going there. You are here, right? So you are here. Means that you are doing, why are you coming here for? You're doing it for Krishna, right? What else do we discuss here? I don't give you any other advice, right? What to invest in your stock market, what job to take, who to marry, who to divorce. I don't give you that advice at all, right? It's all about Krishna. And so you are doing it. So have that faith also, right? That Krishna is saying, black and white, sarvdharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. You have done that. You have given up the association of demigods. You're saying, I'm not taking the easy path. I'm not going to bribe the demigods and say, vivda haro. I'm not saying that. I'm with you, Krishna. I know it. Devotional service is simple, but it's not easy. What is involved? Okay, chant 16 rounds. Okay, what's the mantra? Very simple. How many words are independent words are there in the mantra? 3. Okay, very simple. Try to sit down and do it over and over and again, right? And we are doing it. We are doing it, and Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshisyami masuchaha, that I am going to deliver you. Have faith. And that faith is going to, impel you, is going to push you towards Krishna. And in the beginning, the faith is as we say, it's komal shraddha, it's a little soft, right? So in the beginning, you might, face some bodily pains and things like that, and it's like, oh, what is happening, why this and all that kind of stuff. After some time, it's like, it doesn't matter, I have to do. Like, how a mother, she might be sick, she still gets up and cooks for the family, right? Mothers go through so much. They don't speak, but they go through so much, right? And sometimes they have like severe diseases in the body, but they know there's nobody else to take care of the kids. They somehow survive like that, and then they do the work. Right? So just like we do as mothers, we do for our kids, right? Despite whatever is happening to us, and we don't give up on our motherly duties. Similarly, despite whatever is happening to us, we don't give up on our duties as a devotee of the Lord, right? That's my main duty. My main duty, the way I'm wired, is to serve the Lord. I'm made that way, and that's why I'll be happy. And so this verse, that's this section that we were looking at, talked about fishes, right? And he said that fishes live in water, and if you take them out of the water, they are miserable. They can't. So you have to go according to your dharma, whatever your dharma is. We have to go through that. And these things will come and go, right? And again, it's a practice, and the more faith that you have, the more faith you have in the system. For example, when you take to homeopathy medicines, right, to solve any disease, the doctor says, do you have faith in the homeopathic system? If you don't have faith, then don't take the medicine. This means that faith has got such a strong role. And there was this um, um, famous experiment that was done, by one of the very famous universities over here. And what they do is that they take two sections of people, two groups of people, and to one group with similar symptoms like runny nose, fever, like that, and to one group of people they give the actual medicine, and to the other group of people they just give a sugar coated pill, and they tell them this is the medicine for take this medicine for your ailment, and both the groups became well after that. So what was the difference? It is the faith.
Placebo effect. Yeah.
It's the faith that, this is a medicine I'm
Mm.
taking. It's the faith. You don't really, so when you take paracetamol, if the temperature goes high, if you take paracetamol, you do not know the composition of paracetamol. What is the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen bonding happening inside those chemicals which are inside there, right? You don't even know which part of that medicine, how it goes inside your body, where it goes in the body, where are the germs, where is it fighting? You don't know. You just have faith in the medicine, and then you take it, and it has its effect on you, right? Even if it's not a medicine, like this experiment proved, even if it's not a medicine, but faith is even more stronger than that. So have faith, you know, even if you don't get it, fake it and say, okay, I know. Krishna, my mind is rebelling. Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Why are you not curing me fast? Okay, no, Krishna, I have faith. You will do it. Please, please, please. Give me that faith. You can beg for faith. Give me that faith that you will cure me. You will cure me. You will cure me. Like that. Of this, this human body itself is a disease. So that's the biggest cure we should be asking for, right? That how do I get rid of this disease that I have? And don't be too hell bent on that. Don't be too hell bent on that. Understand everybody's body gives them grief. Nobody's body is like super good. Somebody has got some disease, somebody has got some other problem, some people have mental problems, some have got physical problem, everybody has got problem. It's dukhalayam ashashvatam, guaranteed.
Mm.
Yeah. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. Sometimes what I do when I go through, because I also suffer excruciating pain in my stomach. And so sometimes what I do is I just start looking at and reading about those who are less fortunate than I am, you know, and then I realize, oh, yeah, you know, what about those who don't have a hand? What about those who are suffering from cancer? What about those who have blood cancer? What about those who've got corona disease declared, right? What is a little stomach ache as compared to that? You pop some medicine, lie down quietly, chant, and it'll go away, like that. Yeah. So, and that is a constant war that we will be fighting. Maya is always there to whisper things in our ears. Plus, our own anarthas are there, and our own samskaras are there. Not anarthas, but our own samskaras are there, which are reminding us to behave in a particular way, in a particular situation. But now we are learning all these new things, right? And having learned all these new things, Bilva Mangal, I mean, that's why these stories are there. I mean, look at Bilva Mangal Thakura. From being that kind of a wretched person who can leave and go to a prostitute on the day of father has died, his father had died. From there, he goes and writes Krishna Karnamrita. So this means there is hope for all of us, right? We are not Bilva Mangal Thakuras. We are much better, than the earlier portrayal of his life. We are much, 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 much better than him. And so we need to make sure that we remind ourselves that Krishna took care of Bilva Mangal Thakura, and Krishna will take care of me. Rakshishati iti vishvasat. He will protect you. He will protect you. Always be positive. Always be positive. Because negative and worry is a prayer, actually, for the worst to happen. So worry, 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 no. If it hurts, yes, it will hurt. Things hurt, they will hurt. Some days it will be very hard. Tears will come into the eyes because of the hurt. It will hurt, yeah. But then every time 2 tears roll out of your eyes, you just, on your checklist, you just say, okay, done, 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 karma, done, 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 done. Okay, fine, One day I'll be cleared of all of these things. It takes a long time. You take the life of Narad Muni, right? He was a small child, his mother died, and then he started meditating on the Lord, and the Lord shows him a trailer, right? Shows him a little bit and then disappears. And this little child tries to close his eyes and says, come, 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 come back again. He says, no, you can't come back because I won't come. You can't call me back like that. I come on my own, number one. And number two, you have got still material desires in your life. You will never see me in this lifetime. Look at that, telling a small child that, right? And then he spends the rest of the time as a meditant and focuses on the Lord. And then he dies because there is a cataclysm, right? The universe is annihilated. And then he goes to sleep in the womb of Vishnu. And then he sleeps for how much long, It's a long time. Trillions of years we go there and we sleep. And then when the universe is created again, then we go and get started again. So these time spans are huge. They are astronomical time gaps that are there. But you can still do it. Dhruva did it in 6 months. Narad Muni could have taken 2 universal creations to get there. And these stories from the Srimad Bhagavatam are actually telling you that, there are extremes. I mean, Narad Muni got it. Some don't even still get it, right? So there are people on the other end of the spectrum also, who are not yet liberated. I mean, he got a spiritual body, and now he can go anywhere and everywhere, and he preaches that, right? So, yeah, just because we are devotees doesn't mean that our lives are going to become easy, or all the distress is going to go away. But what will really happen is the change of our attitude. And the attitude means everything. Attitude means everything, right? Do you agree with that? Attitude?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. And if you see happy people around, don't just conclude that they are happy and that we are the only people who are sad. Don't conclude that, because people are very good at faking it. They will smile all over the world. They'll smile at everybody, but you have no idea what they're going through inside, like that. So people can do that. But just go by the Krishna's word. He says, Dukhalayam ashashvatam. Somebody's unhappy because of this, somebody's unhappy because of that. But everybody is unhappy, like that. And only thing that can make you happy everlastingly is to do devotional service to the Lord. And nothing is better than devotee association. Nothing. I've repeated that so many times because it means that. Like that, yeah. Any other reflections from anyone before we call it a day here? Any other thing? What about cooperation? What did they say about cooperation?
Yeah, like all the body parts to cooperate. They don't want to enjoy independently. like finger is not saying I will enjoy. They all feed food to the stomach.
Yeah. And if they stop feeding food to the stomach, then what happens?
All will die. They cannot eat the food by themselves.
Right?
They cannot enjoy.
Yeah. You cannot dip your finger in a gulab jamun and feel. Or you cannot dip your finger in milk and become strong. Actually, your finger will become bad from being dipped in milk for such a long time. Right? So Narad Muni says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yatha taror mool nishechinena tripyanti yat skanda bhajo pishaka prano pahara cha yathendriyanam. So he's saying that just as when you water the roots of a tree, then the branches and the twigs also get nourished. Similarly, when you go and do worship of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, then all the other demigods, all other things will be satisfied and all other things will get taken care of. You just take care of Krishna. You just take care of your devotional service to Krishna. And on the days which are bad days, on the days when it is very difficult to think that, how do I handle this? Remember that Krishna is giving you the strength to handle this. There's this very nice story. I think that the Christians bring up this story about there was a man who used to walk on the beach with the Lord. And the Lord was invisible, but he knew by the two pairs of footsteps that he could see on the sand like that. And so whenever there was something that he wanted to consult with the Lord, the footsteps would appear and he would know the Lord was there. And then he enters a phase of life where he's very much down below. He's very, very, unhappy and, desolate kind of a situation. And then he goes there and on the sand, he sees only one pair of footsteps there. And then, anyway, so he comes back and then that phase goes away. And then he gets back again into the good phase as is bound to happen in this material world. Then he questions the Lord and he says that, Lord, when I had simple problems in life, like, should I take this job? Should I do this? Should I not do that? You were always there to guide me. I could always see the extra pair of footsteps behind, behind mine, besides mine. But when I really needed you, I was in so much of trouble, Krishna, oh Lord, where were you? Because I saw only one pair of footsteps on the sand. Then the Lord said, I was actually carrying you. That is why you saw only one pair of footsteps. And that is a fact. Because we can't survive the onslaughts of Maya without Krishna supporting us. And that is what he said in the last words of Bhagavad Gita 10. He said, "What with a single fragment of myself, I hold and support the whole universe." That is what he does. So always remember that wherever you are, whatever is happening to you in life, and I know things are not good for most of us, right? Because of all of us, because of this corona thing that's going on, right? And then for some of us more on top of that. But always remember, Krishna is holding us. Krishna is holding us and he will continue to give us strength. Just have that. Don't lose that faith. Just don't let Maya win you over. Bring out your fighting spirit and say, okay, if at all Maya tries to turn my face away from Krishna, I'm going to put all my strength and, turn it back to Krishna. That I'm going to do. That is my resolve, That is what I'm going to write down in my journal as I'm going to do that. One thing. And read it again and again every day, just to make you go stronger. I can do it. I can do it. I mean, look at some of these very famous people who have survived big things in life, right? How did they survive it? How did they overcome big obstacles? How did they win? Through positive energy, through faith. And you have the most powerful person behind you, right? Krishna. We just read about his opulences. Does that help, Preeti Radhika?
Absolutely. I was
Yes.
thinking you were asking from scale 1 to 10. I'm feeling 12 now.
Yeah. Oh, very good. I think we do this class every day to make Preeti Radhika. Yeah. Yeah, it is important to have association.
Mhm.
Alone is very difficult. King Bharat, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think that we can do it alone, but then even a little deer can come and you can get attached to the deer, right? And then whatever you are doing gets thrown out of the window. Yeah. Yeah. And as we progress in devotional service, the devotee will just say, so what? So what? So what? Right? I mean, we hear the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu where somebody he was not happy with someone and he said, okay, he can't come into my assembly from this point any longer. And then all the other devotees are feeling sad and they go and tell Mahaprabhu that please pardon him, he's small, he made a mistake, and so on and so forth. And what will he do? He'll never go back to Godhead if he doesn't have your mercy and things like that. He said, all right, fine, it's after 500 million births, he's going to go back to Godhead. So when people go and tell that this verdict to the devotee, he starts dancing, and he says that at least I know that after 500 million, I will go back to Godhead. Look at that. And then Mahaprabhu immediately calls him. He says, okay, you can come, right? So that's the mood of a devotee. That, okay, doesn't matter. Whatever is happening doesn't matter. What is it? And we do that all the time. We do that with our family and with our kids. We do that, right? Sometimes, did anyone of you ever come across a situation that you cooked something so nice that everybody started taking extra helpings that nothing remained for you? Did it ever happen? Right?
Yeah, yes, it happens,
Okay.
Mataji.
Now, did you feel angry?
No,
Feel
I
angry?
felt happy.
You felt happy on the other hand, right? See, so such a bad situation that you cooked something so tasty and you yourself can't get to eat it, but those who are whom you really really love, when you saw them enjoying it, you got that enjoyment which was much much more than the enjoyment of actually eating it, right? If the enjoyment of seeing others enjoying was less, then you would have told them at the last that hey, you know what, this is the last helping, it's for me. But you didn't say that. Why? Because you got a superior, you got a higher taste, you got a higher happiness, so it was easy to give up the lower happiness. So similarly, when it comes to Krishna also, like that, we are in that mood even serving with Krishna. Okay, Krishna. Okay, Krishna, you're taking this away. All right, fine, doesn't matter. Must be part of your bigger plan. You're taking this away, part of your bigger plan. Part of your bigger plan, like that. So things are part of Krishna's plan. And the sooner we align our plans with Krishna, the friction will reduce. Like that. Okay, should we call it a day here? Give me a Haribol, everybody. Thank you so much for those of you
Haribol. Thank you, Shraddha
Haribol.
Mataji.
Thank
Haribol,
you.
Haribol,
Thank
Mataji.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much.
Mataji.
Thank you. We have quite a few devotees who joined us. I'm sorry I ignored you. We have Chaitanya, Priya Mataji, Amit Khare Prabhu, Radhika Kasturi Mataji was also there, Vamsi Dhari, Namoda Vamsi Dhari Prabhu, Danvat Pranam, Jai Prabhupada, Vibhu Mataji, Danvat Pranam, watching us from there. Very nice. And then Sumangal Prasad Gupta Prabhu, Danvat Pranam, Jai Prabhupada. And thank you so much for joining. And so we are going to resume again tomorrow morning at 6:30 with the Bhagavad Gita class, where we talk about what the soul is, right? And how amazing the soul is. So once you realize how amazing you are, you will stop bothering about, okay, body's there, fine. I've been given a car to drive around here and it's okay. But it's a good car. It does more things than an ordinary car does for you, right? Okay. Vanchikalpatrubhyascha kripasindhubhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Premanande
Haribol.
Haribol.